We only have one sun in our sky and only one moon, but we have lots of stars. It's kind of hard to remember all the names of the stars. So what we do is we actually make pictures in the sky. We're looking at the north here. That's what the big N stands for. In the sky, there's a bunch of stars up there that actually make patterns in the sky. And if we can understand those patterns and find them, then we can find stars in the sky. One of the really cool patterns is in the north. It's called the Big Dipper. And it looks like this. What we did is we took our stars and we connected them together and tried to make a picture. What do you think that picture looks like? Well, depending upon where you grew up in the world, it might look like different things. In the United States, we think it looks like a dipper or a spoon. It has 4 stars that make up the dipper part and 4 stars that make up the handle as well. And if we connect them, we think it looks kind of like a spoon. You can see this in the sky in Bettendorf as well, in Iowa. If you were born in other parts of the world, you may have heard stories about other things that these stars represent. We call it a constellation. For us, the constellation's the Big Dipper or the spoon. But if you were in Europe or Greece, they may have called it the Great Bear, Ursa Major. And they took a lot of other stars and connected them together. The dipper part is only a part of the bear. And when we think about the bear, we can actually imagine the bear looking a little bit like this. So the dipper, the Big Dipper in the United States, actually is the back and tail of the bear. I've never seen a bear with a tail that long, but what do I know? If you were born in Hawaii, you may have heard a different story about these stars. You might have heard that these stars actually have to do with Maui's fish hook. And they think that this star looks like a fish hook. If you were born in South America, you might think it looks like a plow. And there may have been stories about the plow. So every culture in the world kind of has different stories about the patterns that they see in the sky. These patterns are called constellations. And there is a whole bunch of them. When we look in the sky, we can see unicorns and crabs and lions. We can see twins and heroes and sea monsters and princesses and dogs and giraffes. We can see all kinds of things in the sky. People actually use their imagination to make stories about these constellations. Every constellation has a story about it. People a long time ago used to use their imagination to tell these stories. You know, like when your teacher reads you a book and she shows you the pictures? Well, a long, long time ago, we didn't have picture books. So we use the sky for our pictures. And you really got to kind of use your imagination in doing this. And I know kindergartners are really good at using your imagination. So can you imagine some stories about these heroes and gods in the sky? If we were to make constellations today, we would actually probably make them about our heroes. Instead of Orion and Sagittarius, we would probably have constellations like Spider-Man and SpongeBob and Captain America. It's the same kind of thing. We tell stories about our heroes, and we like to look at pictures of them. Well, a long time ago, they did that as well. Can you make up a story and then find some stars that make a constellation for your story? I hope you enjoyed talking about space and day and night and the sun as much as I did. Your teacher's going to give you a sheet of paper to see if you can make your own constellation. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Think if you can't think about a story about your constellation. Maybe it's a superhero. Maybe it's a soccer player. Maybe it's somebody who plays the violin. Can you poke holes in this paper to kind of make a picture that represent kind of like the stars in the sky? Have a great time doing it, and I'll see you next time.